Alicia Candler, and I have to say I have Georgia on my mind, and hopefully this dish today is the one that's going to take me there. I'm going to be making a gooey caramel apple cake. Now, I am from Jackson, Ohio, and when you think about apples and apple traditions, you probably think of the state of Washington. But Jackson, Ohio has its own apple history. I'm sure you've all heard of Johnny Appleseed. Well, he was not just a folklore character, he was an actual person. And he was, his real name was John Chapman, and he was from Massachusetts. He was a pioneer and also a missionary. And for that day and time, I guess you could say he was what we would call now an environmentalist. He was very big into preserving the land and planting trees. And his tree of choice, of course, was apples, because growing up in Massachusetts, his family had an apple orchard, and some of his most fond memories with his father were in that apple orchard. So he wanted to go out west and plant apple trees. Well, in 1806, his very first mission trip was in Jackson County, Ohio, and that is where he actually got his name, Johnny Appleseed. And he did plant many apple trees there, so we have lots of orchards there. And then the majority of the properties actually have at least one apple tree on them, if not a grove of trees. So there's a little piece of history for you for Jackson County. And so we love our apple dishes. So this cake is real easy to make. It's very decadent. It has cream cheese in the cake, and then we're going to make a yummy caramel topping that goes on top. That also has cream cheese in it. So first we're going to start with 4 ounces of wonderful Philadelphia cream cheese and a whole stick of butter. And those have been setting at room temperature. And we're just going to cream that together. See how easy that is when you've already got it at room temperature? Takes seconds. A whole cup of brown sugar. You want it packed, and I use light brown sugar. So we're just going to blend all of that in. I'm throwing things. My mixer is pairing up, and I have 1 speed, so it's going a little bit fast. Okay. And then in goes 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, ground cinnamon. And a whole tablespoon of vanilla. Go ahead and blend that in. And in goes 2 whole large eggs. And 1/4 of a cup of half and half. Liquid ingredients are incorporated. We are going to slowly add in our dry ingredients. This is 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and I've already got 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt mixed in here. Just going to do about half of it at a time. Okay, now here for the apple part. I've got 2 Granny Smith apples that I have peeled and cut into very small little pieces. I put a little lemon juice on them so they wouldn't discolor, and then I actually soaked this in some lemon juice, a damp cloth, so that they could keep their nice pretty color. And just going to dump all that in. And I'm just going to fold those in with the spatula. And then this is going to bake in a 350-degree oven. And it's going to go about probably 30 to 35 minutes, depending on your oven. It's going to be a very moist cake, so you don't want it dry or over-baked. So you want to keep a close eye on it. And then it goes into a 9x9 baking dish. And I saved my butter wrapper, and I'm just going to grease my pan with that. And then in goes is our wonderful batter. And you just want to make sure that you get it all spread nice and even. This is so good, I could just eat it like this. It's going to be even better though once it's all finished. Okay. And into the oven it goes. Okay, while our cake is in the oven, we're going to make our delicious caramel cream cheese topping that we're going to pour all over the cake when it comes out. And we're going to poke holes in the cake, and all this is going to seep down in there, and that's going to make it the ooey gooey part. So we're just going to take a pan, and we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of butter, and we're going to melt that over about medium heat. And we're going to add in a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And this is going to make a nice caramel. And we're also going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. You know, when we talk about Jackson County and all their apple traditions, they also have an apple festival that they have been putting on for about 70 years now. And it started with all the fruit farmers of all the orchards wanting to get together at harvest time at the end of September, and of course coming together to sell the apples and have a community event. And they also took that time to showcase all the wonderful apple dishes that you could make. And still to this day, when you go there, it's a week-long festival, and you can see all different kinds of apples cooked in every different way. They still make the apple butter on the streets during the entire festival. Homemade cider, homemade caramel apples. It's just a wonderful time. It's such a community event, and it's really about family. Every family in Jackson County has Apple Festival memories. And one of my favorite ones was back in the day, I was actually the Apple Festival queen when I was in high school. And so that was really a great time because I learned about public speaking and volunteerism and community involvement, and you're kind of like a little local celebrity. Your picture's in all the businesses, and people ask you to come speak at dinners and things like that, so it's just a real fun time. Okay, so all of that's melted, and we're going to turn the heat down to low, and we're going to put in a 1/4 cup of half and half. And then we're going to put in 2 ounces of fully cream cheese and just let that melt slowly. So this is our gooey caramel apple cake. And as you can see, you've got your nice cake texture there, and then you've got all the gooiness of the caramel and Philadelphia cream cheese sauce on top. And I just garnished with a little whipped cream and dusted with some extra cinnamon. That is so good. It's almost like a texture of a bread pudding. It's delicious. I just want to take this opportunity to thank Miss Paula so much for this opportunity. I've had a blast. My husband's had a blast. And you really inspire us to cook with our hearts and stay true to our roots and chase after our dreams. And I just really appreciate that. And to Kraft Foods, thank you, because all of your products, especially the irreplaceable Philadelphia cream cheese, you have given us the tools we need as home cooks to turn out delicious meals. And all those meals have become part of our family traditions and our family memories. And for that, I thank you so much.